Hello everybody, this is Nikki, as you know, and this is...
My name's Abid.
This is Abid, my friend. Today we are on a live together because we both of us are really good friends with our self-sabotage.
Oh, I'm very known this friend for a very long time.
So my best friend is my self-sabotager.
You guys know what we're talking about as well. You guys all have a friend called Self Sabatage.
You guys have that friend, right?
We're gonna bring out this friend and bring it to the
Expose
surface.
it.
Yes, bring this friend to the surface.
Exactly, because all of us are friends with our self-sabotager, but not all of us know what that is and what that does to our life. So, last time I spoke about self-sabotaging, it was more of in the context of how you self-sabotage love. But this time, I want to go a little bit deeper into what self-sabotaging does. So let's say, for example, I want to create a brand out of myself, and I know what I have to do to achieve that. And I do not take the steps towards that goal of mine. And I'm scared of that goal. Why? Because it's so out of my comfort zone. And I have been brought up to believe that my potential is here. Well, the goal that I have is here. And it's really hard for my ego to understand, because ego is not only pride, it's also our self-sabotage, because ego is actually the identity we have of ourselves. So let's say that goal is here. That goal is here. My potential that I believe in is here. And then I'm like, no, I can't achieve that. So all of those I cannot come into me and stop me from achieving that. So what happens at that moment is as if there's a little bit of a death happening. A death in the sense of Guitarist of the Year.
Thank you very much. I don't know who that is, though. Whoever's the guitarist.
It's Khaleesi, the guy that was at Nambucca with us.
Khaleesi, you are solid.
Don't you remember him?
Yes, I do remember Khaleesi.
Not the American,
not
other one.
Not the one that begins with V.
No, it's not a V.
Not a V. Yeah. Oh,
it's Khaleesi. Okay. So, as I was saying, once again, where was I?
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, obviously self-sabotage, but...
You just self-sabotaged your...
I just self-sabotaged.
Is that the irony here?
Myself.
The irony, okay.
No, I didn't self-sabotage. Hattie?
Brand. Talking about the brand, right?
So yeah, the brand, obviously the brand. So let's say then I stop myself from doing that, and there's a death. So that death is the fact that I have identified myself with not being good enough. And achieving that goal in my brain means that I'm gonna be good enough. And how can I be good enough when I believe I'm not good enough? That means I have to die. That means I have attached myself so much to not being that achieving that is a death for this part, because this has to die for this to be born, right? So that's really hard for us to die a little bit inside. And that's when things get really tough. And that's when I would ask you, because we all do this, right? We have limitless potential, and we are born into a culture and a family and a world that shows us that we can achieve just this much. And our heart and soul just dreams of so much more, because that is our truth. That is the truth of who we are. And then the self-sabotage comes into play, and it's like, hello, nah, you cannot do that. Stuff face.
Get ready.
Get ready.
This is going to be an invigorating experience.
So do you want to add anything on that?
In terms of self-sabotage.
Would you like to give maybe an example of how you have self-sabotaged yourself?
Yeah, easily. I'm a self-taught musician. I've been a musician for over 10 years. Hello. Yeah, and I still don't know, like,
A little bit louder, because maybe they cannot hear us.
I still don't know, like, music theory to the best of its ability. I don't know, I'm not the best musician who I think I could be.
I remember
for 10
you,
years.
Marcos. Hi. After 7 years,
7
this
years,
guy.
yeah. Welcome.
Actually, it was more than 7 years, but anyway, yes.
Yeah, 7 years can do a lot of
Yes.
growing.
So our musician over here, our guitarist. Continue, please. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, like in terms of just being a musician, being a guitarist, I could have learned music theory and done so much, but I just enjoy digressing from the task at hand, from the real end goal. And I know my end goal. I know how to achieve the end goal. I know all the stepping stones, but I choose to
Stop yourself.
stop myself. I choose to just like take breaks from this and really, if I really want something as much as I want this, I should prioritize all my energy and focus. I should prioritize all my energy and focus into being the best version of myself I can possibly be. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you can relate to that as well. There's an ambition, a goal that you've always dreamed of, and you've digressed. You've decided to take different routes, shortcuts that end up being long cuts. And these like a lot of people think they're alone as well, but
We all go through the same battles. People like to think of themselves as separate. I'm me and this is you. But what we don't realize is the fact that we all go through the same things. We all go through the same fears, and we all have the same dreams as well. We all want to achieve stuff. We all have this entrepreneurial side of ourselves that wants to be productive and wants to achieve and wants to create beautiful stuff. And then there are parts of ourselves that don't want that, because that means being out of your comfort zone. That means that you're gonna be something, and you've believed for so long that you're nothing, right? And for example, I use Instagram, I use food, I use weed as an escape for myself. Like, I have a list of things that I should be doing, that I should prioritize in my life, and I still am like, maybe let's eat right now. I'm not even hungry. I'm like, let's eat right now.
Yeah, we're in a restaurant right now.
We're in a restaurant. We're not even hungry.
That's the irony. We're not hungry. We've eaten a substantial amount today, and we thought we'd come here, procrastinate, eat some food while we tell you that it's not the best idea to do that.
So yes, and we're not hypocrites for doing this. But the best way to bring something to yourself is to teach it to others, right? So we're not masters in this. We're not being super productive and telling you, hey, stop doing self-sabotaging. We are self-sabotaging ourselves, and we just wanted to share this message and be like, hey, you're not the only one, and it's fine. Maybe this is what should be happening in this moment. Maybe it's not the best route to achieving what we want to achieve, but it's what it is right now. And we still accept ourselves in this moment, and we're just asking for the willingness of wanting this change. Thank you. The willingness of saying, yes, I will choose that better path for myself because I deserve this, right? Self-discipline. This is like the greatest way of loving yourself, but it's never talked about. It's like compromising these little pleasures for that big pleasure, right? I do it all the time. In the morning, I put my alarm like 3 hours before, so I can like go to the gym, do some yoga, meditate, and this and that. And then I'm like, while I'm in bed, I'm like, oh no, let me sleep a little bit more. Snooze, 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 snooze. And you know, I'm putting this bit of pleasure in front of the big pleasure. So yes, once again, that's normal, and don't judge yourself. Just ask yourself for that willingness to change. We love you. I love you very much. I don't know if Abed loves you.
I love you guys, yeah. There's a lot of love. There's no love to go around.
Lots of love to you. We love you, and you're strong. You're worth it. You are everything. Okay? edhe për ta lënë live-in mirëpafshim, me qënë se doni ka shumë që të flasë shqip. Okay, 1 second. One question. Maybe that helps to identify what to drop. Thank you so much. Maybe that helps to identify what to drop and to let go of self-sabotage. To ask yourself, what are some traits we inherited from our primary caregivers that contribute? Oh, everything. Your self-sabotage has everything to do with how you were brought up, right? So if your parents have been telling you when you were young that you can't do this, and they've been putting all of their fears on you, which most parents do because they think they are us. They think we are part of them, so they just push everything on us. Obviously, I am clearing so much from what my parents taught me. I'm reprogramming myself because I don't want to have all of their fears. I'm cutting the cords with them and be like, no, that's not mine, goodbye. That's not mine, bye. I love you, but that's not mine. I am Niki, right? I am worth it. And you are worth it. And now our food came.
Yeah.
So, we love you and have a beautiful day. Thank you, Alban. I really appreciate you. He's a really big artist and a really amazing one because he does real soulful art, not just to like be popular. And that's why I love you so much. So thank you to everyone for listening, and I hope that this triggered something inside of you for a change. Bye.